As per our instructions, we'll have to arrest you, Caesar, and do it after.
And what are you going to arrest me under?
You're being arrested on suspicion of section 5 public order.
Being arrested?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Audit Lab, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to you by UK Audit. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, UK Audit is outside Stretford Police Station, with a camera, when a routine interaction quickly escalates into officers attempting to control what is being recorded. They begin citing powers and legislation, but rather than linking it to any specific offence, the focus shifts to the footage itself, with pressure applied to delete it and warnings that his equipment could be seized if he refuses. What follows is a
Do you have permission?
Sorry, I can't talk to both at the same time.
No.
Do I have
Do you have
permission?
permission?
I don't need permission.
Well, no, because if you're filming number plates, personal vehicles, then you will need permission for that. It's not all public.
I can film anything from a public place.
Right. This isn't, you're not on a public place here.
This is classed as public property.
What are you actually filming?
Just in general, everything that I can see.
So, can you show us what you're filming? If you've got people's personal vehicles on that camera.
I can film anything from a public place.
But that's the thing, though, that you're filming personal vehicles that might be entering the police station.
It doesn't matter. I can film anything. But people film me from shops, from dash cams,
The
from
people
anything.
that have left, for example,
Yeah,
on police officers. So have you captured them on your camera there?
I have. Yeah,
Because you don't have their permission, do you?
I don't need their permission because it's
You
public.
do if you're putting it online for anyone to see.
I don't need anybody's permission if it's filmed from a public place.
So I'm going to get the uniform officer to come and take your details.
I won't be giving any details,
Okay.
so I'll make you aware of that now.
Okay. We'll get a police officer to come and see this.
No problem.
Right away, the officer frames filming as though it were a licensed activity, asking whether he has permission, as if recording in a public place requires prior approval. It does not. The law does not operate on a permission-based system for cameras. If you are standing in a public space, you are generally free to record what is visible from that position, including buildings, vehicles, and anything else in plain view. Raising concerns about number plates, or suggesting that uploading footage online somehow creates a legal restriction, reflects a misunderstanding of how privacy and data protection laws actually function.
Just not what's around me, please. Don't go too close to me. I don't like it. You won't be surrounding me. Yeah, you won't be surrounding me, or you won't all walk around me. You're not trying to intimidate me. I've just seen what you just done.
We are up to, right?
Listen, don't speak to me like that. I'm a member of the public, so don't speak to me with respect next time you talk to me.
We've been told by CID officers that you filmed 2 victims that are coming in and out of station that you're not allowed to do. You can't know who they are, their profiles, you can't know what vehicles they're at. It's caused them alarm and stress, it's crime. It's private property, you're not allowed to film.
This is not public. This is not private property at all. It's owned by the public.
No, it's not.
Who's it owned by then?
Police. It's private property.
So what?
So I need you to stop recording. I need to delete the videos of those victims.
I'm not going to stop recording, and I'm not going to delete the videos. You won't walk around me. You won't intimidate me. I've not committed no crime.
You have.
Tell me what crime I've committed.
Alarm and distress.
Who've recorded alarm and distress?
That's what we've just been told.
Have you had a complaint from them? Have you had a complaint from them?
You are.
Have you had a complaint from them? They've walked off.
They complained to the CID officers who complained to us.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they have.
I've got it all on video.
We've just been told it, mate. So I don't know what.
So you've just been told it. We've been told wrong information
No,
then.
we're not.
I'm telling you, you have.
Watch how quickly the justification continues to shift. It begins with number plates. Then, as additional officers arrive, it suddenly becomes about recording victims, before changing again to the claim that the station is private property owned by the police. None of these explanations establish a criminal offense. Publicly accessible areas around police stations remain public unless there are clearly defined restrictions, such as barriers or signage. Simply filming what can be seen from a public place is lawful under long-established principles of freedom of expression and observation in public spaces. Even the reference to alarm and distress under Section 5 of the Public Order Act requires threatening or abusive behavior that is likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. A person standing with a camera does not meet that threshold.
No, we're not.
I've got it all on video.
We'll delete the images that you've done as per our instructions, or we'll have to arrest you so you can do it ourselves.
And what are you going to arrest me under?
Causing alarm and distress
To
the victims, public order offence.
So, and has that already been logged, that crime, has it?
Well, no, we've opened a log for you now.
You haven't opened a log at all. There's no one created a crime.
Log now. We're just saying what?
You've what yourself?
Yeah, you just done it on the radio.
Right. And where's the statement from the people that have been offended by it?
There's no obligation from ourselves.
Listen, I can film anything from a public place.
It's not a public place.
This is not a public, so I'm not on public property. So who owns it then?
Pretty much the police.
Right, well, I'm telling you now, I'm not deleting the
You have
footage.
the right to go into a police station. That's what he's saying. It's a public place. You can't go in.
I can't go in.
It's part of the property. You can't film people coming in and out. For one, we have covert vehicles coming in and out of the station, so you're not allowed to film them.
So if I was stood at the end of there, can I film them?
This is all the property here. And if you were filming covert vehicles, and
I can film anything from a public place.
Now the situation begins to move into genuinely concerning territory. The officers shift from questioning him to attempting to control the evidence itself, instructing him to delete his footage or face having his phone seized and being arrested so they can handle it themselves. That is not how police powers operate. There is no general power that allows officers to compel someone to delete lawful recordings. An arrest cannot be used as a shortcut to gain access to an individual's device. Even if reliance is placed on Section 5 of the Public Order Act, that offense is intended to address behavior that is threatening or abusive in a manner likely to cause genuine harassment, alarm, or distress, not someone calmly holding a camera outside a public building. It begins to resemble less an act of enforcement and more an attempt to make inconvenient footage disappear.
It's a public order, mate. There is
A public order. So what are you telling me? I've committed a public order offence?
no. What you arguing?
Yeah.
That's the way I'm trying to explain it, because you seem to know everything.
So you're telling me I've committed a public order offence?
What we're trying to tell you is that you're recording a private vehicle in and out of the station, which is a security risk to us. We don't want you to record private vehicles, police vehicles, and stuff like that.
What you might not want me to do, right, is too different to me breaking the law. I've not broke no criminal offence. I can film anything from a public place. This is a public place, so I've got a right to film.
You can film anything. Yes, I agree. Okay. But what we're asking you is not to record a police.
You can ask me, and I'm kindly refusing.
Okay, so because you're refusing, we are going off that you're on a private land.
You're going to go off you're on private land. So you're not actually sure whether this is private or public. So this is private property.
This is a property. The land is amongst the police.
It's property of Great Manchester. You've been told by 3 different officers, 4 now.
Right.
This is different. This is owned by Great Manchester.
Right, where I'm stood, guys, it's all accessible by the public, yeah? There's gates there, which turns into private property. As you can see, put in that direction there, there's no gates going across there whatsoever. There's a public foyer just over the gentleman's shoulder in the back, over the background.
The explanation shifts yet again, this time turning to the idea that filming parked police vehicles somehow constitutes a security risk. That is a considerable stretch. Police vehicles stationed outside are visible to anyone walking past, driving by, or even viewing the area through mapping services. Treating the presence of a camera as a threat, while those same vehicles remain openly in plain view, carries little weight. What this ultimately demonstrates is that the officers are struggling to anchor the situation to any concrete justification, and as a result, the reasoning continues to evolve based on what appears most persuasive in the moment.
So is Greater Manchester Police owned by you? Who owns Greater Manchester Police then? Who?
Greater Manchester Police.
Greater Manchester Police own Greater Manchester Police?
Body.
It's a government body,
Yeah.
right. So it's a public building.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Right. So this is public land, this is public property.
It is public
We
property,
pay for that building just like we pay for your wages.
for it as
And
well,
yeah, you are paying it for yourself, yeah? Or good
all
fair
pay
play to you.
for
I'm not going to argue with that. You pay your taxes, so yeah, you pay your own wages. So do I. I pay your wages as well, just like everybody else.
Perfect, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your problem, mate?
You relax there.
I'm relaxed, I'm calm as anything.
You're arguing.
It's just the way I talk.
It's not.
It's not the way I talk. So do you know me, my personal?
You know me.
Do you know me personally then? You're telling me this is not the way I talk.
I don't know who you are.
Right?
Video
It doesn't matter who I am.
Your video got potential video card.
What's your name? What's your number?
1746.
And what's your name, please?
GCMG.
PCMG 14 what?
1. You got my car number there, mate.
Say it again, sorry.
You got it there, you can see.
17446.
The moment the officers acknowledge that the building is funded by taxpayers, the private property argument begins to unravel. A public institution paid for by the public cannot simply be treated as a private space where officers decide who may observe from outside. What follows is revealing. Rather than addressing that contradiction, the focus shifts to his tone. Describing someone as argumentative is not a legal standard, and it certainly does not create a police power. Individuals are entitled to question officers, challenge what they are being told, and speak firmly if they believe the law is being misrepresented. Criticism may be uncomfortable, but discomfort is not an offense.
If you can show us the footage and we're happy that they're not on there, we'll let you be.
No, I'm not showing you the footage. I'm in a public place and I can film anything from a public place.
Listen, mate, you can either help us
Listen,
out,
I'm not
so
your mate.
carry on
Don't
doing
talk
what
to me
do,
as
because
mate.
I know
You call me as
I know
sir
you
from
come
now
here-
on.
I know you come here quite a bit.
I don't come here quite a bit, so how do you know that? How do you... No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Someone matching your description.
I've never filmed here before.
So why have you come here today?
It's got nothing to do with you now. You don't treat me with respect, I won't treat you with respect. You told me I broke a criminal offence. Tell me what? You told me it's public order, now you're changing it. Now you're telling me I've done nothing wrong.
You're not going to show us the footage?
No.
Right, well, you are going to get arrested. I'm just going to find out what the best thing to arrest you for, the most applicable.
So you're telling me I'm going to get
And then
arrested?
we're going to seize your phone. If you don't show
You're going to
us the footage,
seize my
that's what's
phone?
gonna happen.
Right, okay.
Right.
Good luck to you. So now they're going to arrest me now for a public order offence because I won't show them the footage.
That's the only reason we're here.
Right?
If you can prove that you've not done that,
You-
we'll let it be.
I don't need to prove anything to you. I've not committed no crime.
We're here.
I've not... What crime have I
You
committed?
said that you filmed this person's CID. You said you're going to put it on YouTube, which is a public forum that everyone can watch.
They came out...
So this person's identity can't be put out there for the world to see who's been in this station today. That's why we're here. So if you could prove it...
I'm not going to answer your questions now.
At this stage, the officers attempt to place the burden on him to prove he has done nothing wrong by demanding to see his footage. That is not how policing operates. A member of the public is not required to hand over their recordings simply to satisfy curiosity, or to reassure officers that no unlawful activity has taken place. The responsibility lies with the police to identify a specific offence first. The tone of the exchange also begins to slip. Addressing someone as mate, while attempting to assert authority, highlights how casually the interaction is being handled. However, the most telling moment is the radio call in which the officer asks what grounds they could use to arrest him. That speaks volumes. Arrest powers are intended to follow a clearly defined offence supported by lawful grounds, not a speculative discussion over the radio.
Power to seize your phone.
So, can I just ask you one question? They walked out of there, where I'm pointing now, okay? And anybody with a dash cam could have drove past and pictured them. They can film them coming out of the police station just the same as I have. So it makes no difference whether I filmed it or somebody in a dash cam have filmed it. So I'm sorry, you've got no right to privacy. You've got no right to privacy. You've got no right to privacy in public. I'm not going to stop the footage now when I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 police officers around me. I'm refusing to do anything. No, I'm not. I'm afraid. No. Right. Well, I've not done anything wrong, so I'm refusing. I'm not going to answer any more of your questions, and that's that. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Can someone answer my question, please? Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
I'm walking with you.
Yeah.
Am I being detained? Under what law, sorry?
You're being arrested on suspicion of Section 5 public order.
Being arrested?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I was arrested for Section 5 public order. I was taken to Pendleton Police Station where I spent 8.5 hours and was released without charge and no further action. I have started the procedure to bring the officer accountable for his actions.
The arrest comes the moment UK Audit continues pressing the one question the officers appear unwilling to answer. Am I detained, or am I free to leave? Rather than resolving the matter clearly, they move straight to Section 5 and place him in handcuffs. He is taken to Pendleton Police Station, remains there for 8 hours, and is then released with no charge and no further action. That outcome speaks for itself. If the behavior at the scene had genuinely met the threshold for a public order offense, it would not have fallen apart the moment it reached custody. The update he provides afterwards is also where the story effectively ends. UK Audit states that he has begun the process of holding the officer accountable for the arrest, but beyond that, no further information emerges, as he eventually stopped posting content altogether. What is clear, however, is how the situation developed. Officers continued layering explanations, until one held long enough to justify taking him into custody. None of the earlier concerns stood up to scrutiny. As a result, the encounter concludes with the most serious power available, arrest, yet hours later, there is nothing to substantiate it. That contrast is the key takeaway. Strong authority at the roadside, but no case once the dust settles. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support my independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out UK Audit. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching.